guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming my journal spread for 2023, and I'm actually starting a new journal this year. You guys know I've been using the same journal for like 5 years, and I actually ran out of room in it. So I'm gonna be starting a new journal this year, and it looks like this. It's beautiful. So I'm gonna show you guys the spread. It's a little bit different than it usually is, and I've added some things and taken some things away, but this is just gonna be a quick video showing you guys what my spread is gonna look like for 2023 and kind of how I plan to kind of keep track of my reading. So hopefully you guys like this video, and if you guys have any questions, definitely comment down below and I will answer any questions you guys have. So I got a new reading journal. As you guys know, this here was my old one, and I did a whole video about this one, and I have a ton of years in here. I don't know how many years are there, like 5, 6, something like that. So this is actually all filled up, and I'm really proud that I filled up an entire reading journal. So this is my new one. My mom got me this journal, I think last year for Christmas. I think it's so pretty. So this is going to be my new reading journal, and I'm going to show you guys the layout for 2023 and what I decided to do for 2023. On the first page, I just put book journal 2023. So I'm using these Alohaster. These are highlighters actually, and they come in really pretty kind of like muted pastel tones, and they work really, really well for journaling because they're really pretty colors. They're not too bright. So this is kind of what I'm using to fill out my journal this year. So this is the first page, the top 10 books I want to read in 2023. You guys could probably see a few of the books that I plan to read, but I am going to make an entire video about this. But I'm going to do red in blue and unread in peach, and I do feel like I'm going to do well this year. I say that every single year, but I do feel like I'm going to do well. All of these books I really, really want to read. So the next page is number of books per month. So we have January, February, March, all the months, and I'm going to write how many books I read each month, and then the final count here. And this was a spread that I had in my last reading journal as well. So the next page is my genre tally, and I actually put this in my last reading journal, and I really liked it because my goal in 2022 was to read more horror. And this was a really good way to kind of track what I was reading the most of and what I wasn't reading very much of. And this year, I think romance and graphic novels were my top genres. So that was really interesting. So I'm really excited to kind of see what I end up kind of gravitating towards this year. So every time I read a book, I will just do a little tally on whatever the genre was. Sometimes there are multiple genres, sometimes it's just one genre, but it's a really kind of fun thing to do to kind of keep track of what you're reading. Then I have notes and quotes. I actually made this really small. I don't really fill this out too much. Sometimes if I find like a really, really good quote that I love, I will put it in here, or like a new author that I'm really loving, or a new genre, or a new favorite character or something, I'll put it on here. But it's usually really important things that I don't want to forget. Next is best books of each month. So every single month I write the best book that month, and this is really cool because I can kind of see what my favorite books were, but it also helps when I do like my best books of the year videos and things like that, and I just kind of like to see what books I really, really loved throughout the year. And then I have my gold star section, and I only did this many dots. I highly doubt I'm gonna have this many gold stars. I never have before. I think in 2021 I had like 4 gold stars, and then in 2022 I only had 1 gold star. And if you guys don't know, gold stars are basically books that like surpass 5 stars. They're like my all-time favorite books, and those are usually my gold star reads. So the next pages are books purchased and unhauled. So my purchased are going to be kind of this darker pink. Unhauled is going to be this tan color, and I'm just going to write every book that I purchase and unhaul. We'll see. This looks like a lot, but I actually did this spread in my last journal, and I ran out of room, and it was mostly just books that I purchased. Like I wanted to keep track of every book that I purchased to kind of see how much money I was spending, and I filled the page up too quickly, so I had to just kind of stop keeping track of it. So I made sure to do 2 spreads of this, and hopefully this is enough. I don't know, we'll see. So the next page is my favorite page. I love doing these shelves, and I did this audio in blue, physical in pink, and Kindle in kind of like this green color. And I color the spines in, you know, whatever way that I read them. And this is actually really cool because I can see what I read most of. Usually it's physical is how I read most of my books. And this year actually Kindle was way like my least way of reading. I think I only read like 4 books on Kindle. Why can't I speak in proper sentences today? I don't know. So this is the number of books read checklist. I have 60 because that's kind of like my ultimate goal. Like if I can reach 60 books this year, I'll be really, really happy. I've only reached 60 books once, and that was in 2021. But the goal that I set on Goodreads is 38 because I always set my Goodreads goal at my age. Love doing that page as well. It's always really satisfying to color it in when you like finish a book, you know? And then this is book covers of 2023. So I used to actually not do this, but I actually did it in my last journal. And I thought that this was going to be annoying, which is why I never ended up doing it, but I found a really easy way to do it actually. So I put all my book covers at the very end, and I did them in each year. So this is like my 2020, 2019. And I always really wanted to do this, but I just thought it would be really complicated, so I never did. But the best way to do this without making it complicated is to go on a desktop computer and then go to Goodreads and then go to your reading challenge. Click on the little reading challenge icon, and it'll take you to a page of all of your book covers that you read for that year. And you just want to print off that page. And they'll come out about this size, which is like the perfect size for a reading journal. And it's so easy to do because all you have to do is just print off one page off of the internet and you have all of your books that you read for that year. Because I've seen some people like put them into a different program and then they have to like resize them. And that was way too complicated for me. I do not have the time for that. But if you just print off your reading challenge page on Goodreads, they will come out to be this really perfect size. So that is what I ended up doing. Hopefully this is enough room. But we'll see. So then I have each month, and I just did the same font on every page. So February. So this is kind of what I do. I write the book title, I do the author, the genre that it was, and then I do like 3 or 4 words kind of describing that book and what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it. And then I use my little star stamp and I rate it. So I do that with all the books, and then I keep track of how many, stars that I did that month, how many books I read, and then I review my favorite book. So every, page is my favorite book with a little review. Sometimes I write a lot, sometimes I don't. So that is what I do for my monthly spreads. Then I created my wrap up. So I do this at the end of every year. I do number of books read, number of pages read, average rating, shortest book, longest book, average book length. This is all information that you can actually get on Goodreads at the end of the year. Most popular and least popular on Goodreads, highest rated on Goodreads, and then the number of 5 stars, 4 stars that I gave that year. First book I read in 2023, last book I read in 2023, how many gold stars, how many adult books, and how many young adult books. And these are my awards, and I plan to make a video about this year, but I have like best couple, most recommended, biggest disappointment, biggest surprise, most read genre, most memorable character, and all of that. Number of books read from my top 10 books to read, book that should be a movie, and book that should be a show. That one's kind of fun. Female authors read, male authors read, Goodreads goal, number over the goal, best book, worst book, and then how I read the books, so how many I read on Kindle, audio, DNF, thrifted, owned, library, blah, 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 blah. Best 5 books, worst 5 books, rated this reading year. Oh, okay, so this is new. This is how I rate this reading year out of 10 stars. So was it a 7-star year for reading? Was it a 1-star year for reading? We'll just have to see how I felt about my reading year in 2023. And then my 2024 reading goals, which I don't usually have a ton of goals. I just kind of read what I want to read, but there are times where I do have a few goals that I want to accomplish in my reading life. So that is my book reading journal for 2023. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to start a new journal. Like I said, I've used my other journal for a really long time, so it's always really fun to start a new one. And I'll probably be able to use this one for like 4 or 5 years. So this is going to be in my life for quite a while. So anyways, you guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.